What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the single-player Let's Play series. So I made a couple of EFLNs in between episodes and did a lot of mining. So EFLNs are made with tiny TNT, which is crushed quartz, which you can't actually get at our stage in the game, but because you can't craft a quartz grindstone, I've disabled that recipe. But I have found some in mineshaft chests, so I've had a few, but not a lot of them. And it's kind of made me come to the realization after I did some mining that my pickaxe is down to 40 durability, which is miserable. And I kind of want to come up with a good solution for tools that is a little more long-term. So, as you can see, we have a ton of materials. I did a ton of mining in between episodes, so we have plenty of coal now. We have tons of redstone, some emeralds, some diamonds, some lapis, some quartz of all the varieties, and then obviously tons of metals. We have whole blocks of copper, tin, lead, aluminum, two stacks of blocks of iron, and obviously plenty of other stuff, including some uranium and yellorium, which we'll get to processing once we have a machine that'll help us do it. So, at this point, I would like to get around to getting better tools. I don't really want to work on heavy machine automation stuff yet, but I do definitely want to get tools that are not going to die every single minute. And there's a few ways that we can do this. I actually really love the Adventurer's Toolbox tools, and I'm going to stick with them. But I'm going to use mending. And mending is going to be kind of a butt to get, because you can get mending a handful of ways. You have random luck, or you have nether stars. Or there's a third option, and it is the fishing net from Actually Editions. Now the fishing net from Actually Editions uses empowered emeradic crystal, which means you're going to need to make an empowerer. We're going to need to make a lot of stuff, but I do think that this will be worth doing. So what I will probably end up doing, I'm thinking the best way of handling this is by having another building maybe over here. I don't actually have a layout in mind yet, so we'll just kind of plan it out with some cobblestone, but probably not actually build it up this episode, just because I can't think of anything that I want this building to be shaped as yet. Kind of clear out an area here to make sure that all is good, and I figured we could stick our empowerer and our atomic reconstructor over here. That way we can have everything set up in one place instead of having to run back and forth between the houses. And because we have the power line right there, in fact there's another one, like, I think it would probably be quicker and easier to just use this one, but I don't actually know how easily that can be done. Point is, we can get power over here really easily, and there's no sense in not doing it. So I'm going to get a couple of blocks to fill in that little area, and we can go ahead and get that working. So let me grab some stuff. We can kind of lay out the design a little bit. Again, I'm not building it up. I'm just going to kind of lay out walls and maybe some flooring. And we can get started. Alright, so now that we have the creosote oil running and being created regularly, I've come to really appreciate this color palette. So I think we're going to do something with this. I think this would be a decent way of going about it, but I think the floor is going to be mostly these planks. I think planks for a floor are usually a good bet. I don't feel like planks for walls are the greatest, and I don't think that stone for floors are the greatest, so I just generally prefer planks for the floors. So we can start to lay something out here. I'm going to fill that in first. And of course, it would turn nighttime just as soon as I start recording. That figures. But I'm thinking about... Actually, I should have done that slightly differently. Well, that's okay. So the game plan is this will have a couple of machines in it, and I'm trying not to build anything too similar to what I built before, but it's really hard because these things all look pretty much the same. Because like when it comes to an empowerer, you always end up having... Here, we can use spruce wood for these, just to resemble where they would go. I mean, you have to keep this shape. So it kind of messes with you, because then when I see this shape, I want to build radially. I want to build like a big T. But I'm thinking that that's not really necessary, but I don't know what other shape I could build in unless I did like a diamond shape, maybe? Alright, I have a plan. It's a big plan. We're gonna need to move. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. I actually used to do this design quite a lot. But it's been a while, I guess. So I'm gonna do a interesting shape. So I am just going to lay out some block structures here. So we want each one of these to be 5 by 5. Is that going to be enough space? I think it is. So if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if we do 2 diagonal like that, is that the right way? Did I do that the right way? That feels so odd, but yes, I think that is the right way. So if this is 1, 2, 3 this way, then it should be 1, 2, 3 this way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, perfect. And then we would have diagonal, diagonal, and a big tree in the way. That figures. I'll cut the rest of it down later, but I'm just gonna chop it off at the bottom for now. At one point there was a mod that actually was really good at cutting down trees like that, but it started to get really bad, so I stopped using it, but I really liked it. I might throw it in again. I don't know. It kind of... So, I had mixed feelings about it. I don't remember exactly what the mod was called, but it was really cool because it was by Covert Jaguar, I want to say, and it was really cool because it made trees literally fall down if you cut them down like that. But the downside, and they would literally, like, a whole bunch of stuff would fall down, but the downside is the way that they fell was more like an explosion than a gentle fall. And so, I am not going to have enough room. Crud. Yeah, nope, not even enough room. Because I just realized that if I do it this way, then I'm going to really just be right on top of myself there. Alright, well, I'm going to move this off camera, because at this point you've seen me dawdle around with blocks way too much. Oh, this isn't going to survive. I have to repair this as well. I'll be back. Actually, scratch that. So, this is going to take 18 levels just to repair. That's ludicrous, and this pickaxe isn't really that worth it to me. Efficiency 3 is not the best enchant. So instead of wasting experience and iron, I'm going to just go ahead and make that new pickaxe that I was kind of alluding to ever so slightly earlier. So this time we can use leather. I have sticks for everything. We have steel this time. We'll use steel. I want to throw a diamond on it. And I think that's really it. I don't think... Let me check the manual here and make sure that I'm not missing anything. Adornments. So I don't have any prismarine. Diamond is equal to a harvest level bonus of 1. Oh, emerald does too. And in return we get... we get more durability from diamond. I think we'll just do diamond. Unless we really want that high enchantability. I don't know. I might do emerald. Why not? I feel like emerald would be cool. And then let me just make sure that there's nothing else that I'm missing. I did see ender pearl. I don't really know what that's... Oh, enchantability modifier. Okay. I wonder if that stacks. I have 22 ender pearls. Let's just give it a try. I don't expect this to work. But you never know. So we can grab our schematic for a pickaxe head. Yeah, there we go. Make our pickaxe head out of 3 steel. I'm going to go ahead and make a leather adorned or leather padded handle. And if I do this, great. But if I do this and this, no. So my options are either 1875 durability with a harvest level of only 2, which means I couldn't get obsidian anymore. I feel like that's more important. Plus, this will get us a much faster mining speed and 3000 durability versus 1800. Thinking the emerald wins this time. The enchantability will be okay. So let's make it. I keep expecting to hear a tink, like a tink, tink, tink sound because I'm so used to Tinker's Construct, and it's not a thing. but I just keep thinking it in the back of my head that that's like going to happen. So I now am going to finish putting everything up and cleaning everything up like I had talked about. I just had to make a quick pit stop to make a new tool, because sad times, but this guy is dying. I'm going to put it here just as a backup tool, but I mean, at 14 durability, I don't know who that's going to help. Alright guys, so I kind of lied. I've been getting into building, kind of in the mood for it, so I'm probably going to finish building this up, even though I said I wasn't. So I built a lot off camera just because I don't have time to spend what has literally been an hour in real life on footage for this. Like, you guys don't want to see that, and I can't fit that into an episode. So I've been working on this build. As you can see, it's this shape that I had kind of discussed earlier. It's this weird, like, diamond-ish shape, but I like it because the way I've designed it leaves me room for multi-block structures in the four corners. And because of the fact that it's on a hill. The nice thing about building on hills I've discovered, because I didn't used to, remember, I used to do plains only for the most part, so very flat. I've discovered the nice part about living on a hill. This is not going to be the entrance, by the way. Don't freak out. There's going to be a staircase to the main entrance right here, but this is my peek hole for now because I haven't finished it. We have basements. So again, I'm doing short basements. That's kind of on purpose. I don't want to have these nice, elaborately tall basements because, again, like I said, try not to build too much in basements. But this seemed like a perfect place down here for a coke oven, maybe all of our multi-block things, as well as gives us space for that kiln that we never really had a place for. And, you know, a couple of other things that we might decide we want along the way in the terms of multi-block and automation, such as, say, a crusher. So, that being said, I obviously don't even have anything here at all. So, I'm going to build this up probably in montage mode, so be ready for it. Just probably going to build it, and it'll be super fast, super easy for you guys to watch. Bear in mind, I have no idea what I'm doing, so I apologize in advance if this just turns out awful. Alright, so how about this? Also, sorry, I just realized that the audio was out of sync for, like, the entire episode. I don't know what was up with that. That was OBS's fault, obviously, because that was game audio that was out of sync, not my audio talking. So, I don't control that, but I can try. I'm going to try to adjust it manually in post, and just hopefully I can line it up, because it's just a short delay behind. And it was driving me nuts, so you may not even know what I'm apologizing for, honestly, hopefully, if I do things right in post. But there's a lot of footage that applied to, which is very annoying. But we have this mostly built. As you saw, my shovel gave up on me while we were doing that, so that sucks. I'll have to make a new one at some point, but now is not the time. So, we need a couple of things for this, and I think we can't... I don't think we can get the whole thing ready, but I definitely think we can get part of it ready this episode. We're already running pretty long. Even with like audios that or video that I'm going to clip and kind of just the general things we've been doing. So as you can tell, I ran out of resources and had to go get some more using EFLNs. I'm choosing areas whose locations I don't really care about that much, so don't fret. It's just kind of a thing. Besides, you know, the EFLN explosion shapes look relatively natural anyways, actually. So yeah, pretty nice. Alright, back to the point though. We want a few things. We want to get another LV capacitor. And we also want to get more leadstone flux ducts. Because we're going to need to route up some power for this guy. And there's no way that's happening unless we're very prepared. So we're going to need, let's see, 3 and 2 and 1. And 1 and... Oh, no, don't tell... Oh, there we go. I was going to say, don't tell me I'm exactly not prepared. Like, just barely not prepared. That would have been the worst. Alright, LV capacitor has been made. I think I also need another LV connector, which is no big deal. I think it's just hardened clay, or terracotta, my bad. And some copper. I think it was just 3, actually. Because this is the recipe, right? Yeah, there we go. We'll need a couple of these. And we just need to get those flux ducts. And these guys, again, just a bunch of redstone, a couple of pieces of glass. We have the redstone and lead to spare this time, so it's really nice. We'll be able to make quite a few of these. But I had actually hoped to make more than that. Okay, that should be enough. So, we have our engineer's hammer readily available. So, yeah, we can go over here, route some power over. I'm hoping that this should not be a kerfuffle in the slightest. If I just, like, stick it maybe here. Yeah, here should be fine. Input on this side. Can I piggyback off of one of these guys? Ouch. That's annoying. I've been trying to disable that. This is incredibly annoying, honestly. And I can't get it to disable for the life of me. Like, I'll go through, and if I do, like here, I'll show you real quick. If I go to Immersive Engineering, go to Config, it's literally right here, Enable Wire Damage False, and I'm still getting damaged. Like, what the heck? I don't get it, and it's bothersome. So, as I've predetermined, we will need Actually, we technically don't need anything there, but I'm just going to put that there so that I remember exactly where it needs to go. We need power to these locations specifically. So we can go ahead and plop down a flex duct. And let's see what we can do about getting some decent looking power routing. I'm thinking we could actually go beneath so that it literally was something like this. It would go straight down. We could cover it up a little bit, make it look less terrible, I'm hoping. Nope, wrong place. So then if we did something maybe like this, then we could also come over here and move this guy a little bit. We could put this guy probably more like here. I wonder if this connection is going to make a difference. Not really. It's still very painful. Like, now I have to walk all the way around here to get over here. Like, I mean, come on. Why are you going to be so annoying like this? I guess I could do the same relay thing again. That is an option. So if I did this and then this, slightly less annoying. I don't know. I'm not thrilled with how this has had to been changed, but I don't disagree with it, but I don't like it. It's upsetting because I don't hate it, but I do hate it, but I don't disagree with it, but I don't know how to feel about it, and I'm just confused. So I'm going to have to shovel this out, and I'm not gonna go make a shovel because I'm in the middle of stuff for this episode. So I'm gonna just do this off camera because everyone knows you don't want to watch me sit here and tunnel this out by hand. Like, goodness, that's going to be very boring to watch. Not very boring to do, but just incredibly boring to watch. No matter what kind of commentary I threw in there, you could not possibly be interested in watching me place or break dirt by hand due to my laziness. So I am going to be right back. Alright, boring tunnel has been dug. I accidentally went over, or didn't go over one far enough, so I had to correct that. And now we can successfully head on over, and we will need to tell this guy to output on the bottom. You've seen this part before. And now, if I can remember how to jump, and how to jump properly, these guys should be all connected and stuff. We should be good. So if I cover up that spot and I guess that spot too, it doesn't really matter. As long as I get some cable or structural ducts for these, you won't even notice that they're there. So oh yeah. Oops. We'll just spit out here instead. So I think that looks pretty good. Let me just see how it looks in here. Yeah, so out here you can't even notice. That's pretty cool. So, I know that this is kind of like a we did nothing episode, but we did stuff. Kind of did stuff. I'm gonna wrap this up by covering up everything, making everything look spickety-span. Don't want anything to look kind of off like they currently do. So I'm going to handle that now. That way you guys aren't just like, well, what the heck? Why don't you just do more stuff? One of the things that I want to make is some factory block. This is either... Oh, I did add that recipe. Oh, well, I don't care. It's actually a recipe that I kind of like, so I'm not going to be removing that. But at some point I made, I think it was back in Forge Serve actually that I made it. I made a recipe to use aluminum up, and I've got a ton of aluminum, but I'm just going to use iron. So this offers you a use for your aluminum, because goodness knows there's not enough of them considering how much is generated just in general, with or without geolysis. So we wanted some structural ducts as well. I don't know, is that going to be enough? We might need more of those. Let's make more of them just to be safe, because I really don't want to have to do this in a handful of trips. And yeah, that'll work. Oh, those cycle now. They didn't used to cycle properly. Cool. That recipe is another one that I added because I think it's dumb that you can't recycle covers. You should totally be able to recycle covers. So let's go ahead and make ourselves some of these. Stack is more than enough. And then I just realized too... oh no. I accidentally sorted my hotbar. Alright, that's better. Let's see. Well, and now I lost my train of thought. Oh, I remember what I was thinking. That I might have another cobblestone cover, but I don't think that's going to help us. Alright, let's head over. See, this is why I don't like it. If I jump with the freaking slime boots, it's like, nope, just die, please. And all I can do is accept my fate. It's quite frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so, structural duct for this side. We want the inside of this place to look good, too. I don't care about this necessarily, because I'm legitimately gonna put something there, like, next episode. Or possibly between episodes. Now, I have a block in mind that I want to use here. We have, what, 3, 6, 9, 12, so we'll need 12 of these, about. We'll just go ahead and make all 10 of them. Let's do these yellow factory blocks. And if I recall correctly, yes, they do. They have CTM. And if you don't know what CTM is, it's short for Connected Textures anything. Connected Textures Mod, Connected Textures Mapping. I refer to it by mapping. I think Connected Textures Mapping makes more sense. That's what it is. You're mapping texture coordinates so that they appear visually as one contiguous texture. But it depends on the context. Like, the mod that provides Connected Textures is called the Connected Textures mod. So... but then a mod that does not use the Connected Textures mod can still have CTM. It's weird. Weird context. And honestly, an odd rant for me to get stuck on. Uh-oh. I didn't make a crescent hammer, so the easiest way for me to remove that was to break it. That is why you should be careful with covers, kids. Wait, what? It doesn't actually matter. But this at least looks better, and we now have a place to put torches, because this should now count as a solid side, but it doesn't. Crud. Oh well, never mind. Just kidding. No place for torches. Just darkness. So, at some point there's going to be a way to get down here, but there's not one yet. So, yeah. But at least we have our covers covered. Our covers covered. Our cables covered. That's the word I was looking for. Cables. Cables are covered. And I'm pretty happy with how this place looks for now. I think the downstairs area is going to need a little bit of work, especially just by means of how the heck are we going to get to the downstairs area. But aside from that, I'm pretty pleased. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it, and I will see you guys in the next one.